Canon have announced a number of new RF lenses, and if you're interested in some cameras to go with them, you can check out our videos on the new R5 and the R6, both super impressive cameras. I'll pop a link to both of those videos down in the description so you can check them out. Now, we've already got a video on the Canon RF 100 to 500mm lens, but there are 3 more lenses for us to talk about today. Now, first up, there's the new RF 600mm and the RF 800mm, which Canon tell us are the world's lightest autofocus lenses with focal lengths of 600mm and 800mm. And I have to say, putting these on the R5, which we were testing them out with, it is a surprisingly lightweight system considering the focal length. Now, I'm not going to pretend that it's super light, that it's light as a feather, but you could certainly shoot handheld with it, which is really quite impressive for such a super telephoto lens like both of these are. Now, with handheld shooting in mind, the 600mm has 5 stops of optical image stabilization and the 800mm has 4 stops. The new R5 and the R6 both have in-body image stabilization as well, which can work in tandem with the lens IS, which is great, but to be honest, the lens IS is probably more important at these kind of focal lengths. Now, these were pre-production models, so we weren't able to use any images that we took with them, but trying these out handheld, I was certainly able to use it like that, without having to go crazy on the shutter speed. I was able to get some decent handheld performance, and actually with the autofocus as well, it was nice and quick. I was able to change subjects really quite fast, and it would snap on to a subject with no issue. There wasn't loads of hunting or anything like that at all. Now, the reason I mention this is both of these lenses are designed as affordable options for super telephoto entry-level users. They're not going to break the bank, at least compared to some of the other options available. Now, the trade-off is that they are a fixed aperture of f11, which I know immediately sounds like a red flag, but this really isn't the end of the world, especially when you consider how good cameras like the EOS R, the R5 and the R6 are with higher ISO values. Now, if you're shooting in bright sun, obviously this is no problem at all, but even if you're not, you can bump up that ISO to really overcome any kind of issues there. And even with f11, it seems like you could still get some really great bokeh in the background. Now, both of these lenses can be used with the 1.4x and 2x converters for a really impressive reach if you want to extend that out. But in addition to these 2 lenses, there's also the new RF 85mm f2 macro lens. And again, it's a pre-production lens, so we can't show any images that we took, but I did have some brief time with it. The very first thing to note is how small and lightweight this lens is. Now, obviously you'd expect that it would be smaller than the f1.2 lens, but it really is remarkable just how light it is. And on the front of something like the R5 or the R6 or the EOS R, this is amazing. It pairs perfectly with those kind of cameras, and hopefully we'll be able to check this out properly for a full review in the near future. Now, if you do have any questions about any of these lenses at all, let us know down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe and all the cool stuff that we ask you to do in every single video. I will of course see you in the next video, and as always, thanks for watching.